I think that video is so cutie. I don't care what you say, argue with your mom. It's just like a little memory lane and like a little reminder of like where it all started. And it all started when I was 16 years old, trying to gain some weight because I was a skinny legend. I wrestled throughout high school and I was the 100-pounder. And I was like super tiny, super scrawny, and honestly one of my biggest insecurities because everyone and their mom wanted to point it out that I was skinny. I know every skinny person has been told this. Do you eat? You're so small. You're so skinny. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I did not even this. Thank you. So anyways, yeah, I was low-key insecure about it. Big butts have always been in. I don't care what anyone says. Big booties have always been in. It's always what I thought was like tea. My sister had a fat booty. So I initially started going to the gym because one, I was skinny, and two, I low-key just wanted a fat ass. Like nothing else really mattered. And I was a wrestler and I was like, you know what? Let me try to grow a fat ass and get a little stronger for my wrestling season. Two birds with one stone. I went to the gym and I seen this girl training with this trainer and I was like, I have no clue what the heck I'm doing. So I go up to her and I'm like, hey girl, like how much does he charge? Cause like I need a trainer. And she was like, oh, he doesn't charge us, he just like helps us out, blah blah blah. And then he's like, and then I was like, okay. So I walked back to like, hi, can I join them? Like, can you train me? And he was like, probably looking at me like, who is this 16-year-old little rat? Like, what the heck? But he was like, you can ask them. If they don't care, then you can join, whatever. I was like, hi. Literally, this is so awkward. All of them are right there. So they already saw me ask him. So then I was like, hi, can I lift with you guys? And they were like, sure. And they knew my older sister. One thing about me, if you don't know me from who I am, you know me from my sisters. I have 5 sisters. My mom was busting it down, had 9 kids, 6 girls, 3 boys, and I'm a twin. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. So they were like, oh, we kind of know you or know of you because of your sisters. So they're like, sure, blah, blah. You bet your ass I was there the next day. I showed up and I was like, hello, I'm here to train again. And after that, I came in every single day. And it got to the point where Jason's like, hey, let's take weekends off. And I was like, oh, fine, whatever, I guess. And at the time, obviously I was in high school. I was doing wrestling, or the season had just ended. I worked at a restaurant, so like while I was not at the gym, I was working. I graduated in 2021. Oh, by the way, I'm 21. At this point, I had hired a nutritionist. I ended up putting on like 15 more pounds. And COVID had happened already, so we were training at Jason's garage. And I was locked in. I was eating like 3,500 calories, chugging my water, trying to swallow my food down. At the time, I did not know how to really cook. Shit was rough, but you best believe I was eating my meals, because if there was one thing I was going to do was have a fat ass. At that point, I had graduated high school, graduated with my associate's degree. I was 17 years old, about to be 18 in August, and my lifting buddy was like, we should do a bodybuilding show. And I was like, yeah, dude, I just bulked up to 130. What better way than to do an 8-week prep? Keep in mind, I had no idea what bodybuilding was besides going on stage with a little bikini. So I was like, sure. I told my nutritionist, this is what we're doing. He's like, let's pick a farther show. And I was like, no, we're doing this one. He's like, it's gonna be hard. That's 8 weeks and you just bulked. And I was like, again, we're doing the show. So I went in blindsided. I didn't know what prep was. I didn't know anything. The next thing I knew, the next day I was eating half my calories, and I was like, and it was my first year of college. COVID had just, like, everything starting to open up. I was about to be 18, and I do the thing. I was too soft for one. Like 2 months after my 18th birthday, once I did it, I was like, I will never fucking do this shit ever again, because I binged so hard I gained 30 pounds after, and I got chunky. And then I was like, oh my god, this is the worst sport. Like, I could not believe I did this. Anyway, so I continued to live. I was trying to dial in my nutrition, but it was so hard because I didn't know what a reverse was. Anyways, moving along. A couple months go by and I finally control my eating habits a hair, and I'm like, you know what? Let me do this shit again. Let me run it back. Let me do a longer prep. And when I had gone to the last show, I had seen this girl. Her name was Julia. Hi Julia, if you're watching this. And I was like, and at this point, like, my goal was still to have a fat ass. Like, that was like my dream. Like, I just wanted a fat, juicy ass. But when I seen her, and I was like, oh my god, these muscles are so sexy, like obsessed. So what did I do? I went and hired her coach. Hi Alex, if you're watching this. So then Alex takes me through a 14-week prep, and I looked way better than the last time, like way better. This is me, obviously. And then after my show, I got my titties done. So then after, it was just kind of hard to get back into it. And then I just started traveling and like all that stuff. So I was just like, I don't know if I want to do this again. Like maybe I'll just be like fitnessy, and like I had gained a whole bunch of followers on Instagram. Shortly after, Laura reached out to me and was like, hey, like basically let me coach you for free. And I was like, okay. It was first just gonna be like a lifestyle thing, and then she was like, what if you competed again? And I was like, what if I did? So at this point, I've done a show at 18, a show at 19, and I was about to turn 20. So then I was like, yeah, let's run it. Life happens, blah blah blah, whatever. I was living like part-time in Idaho, part-time here, so I was driving back and forth on this prep, and we do the damn thing, and it was like my first placing, and the best I've ever looked, but also the hardest prep of my entire life. I was carbless more than a month, more than an hour cardio, and I just could not. I think there's just like so many things happening in my life, and like driving and stress and X, Y, and Z, that like my body completely was like, nope. Took first place at Northwest. Didn't take the overall because I was still too small. But then after, I was like, I'm just gonna grow. I don't really care. I reversed myself out. And then I moved to Seattle in March of last year. This is where I'm at now. And I moved here for the gym Laura owned at the time for a couple months, and then the owner decided to have an affair with this grimy little 19-year-old. We don't want to talk about it because predator and weirdo. The gym ended up shutting down, and then I was still growing. This year was kind of messy. At one point I thought I had cancer. So let me go back. May, I was like, something's wrong with me. Like, I know something's wrong with me. I go to the doctors, do blood work, comes back, something's really off. I do more blood work. They call me and they're like, you might have cancer. I'm sorry, what? So now at this point, I'm doing blood work every week for like 2 months, and I'm shitting bricks. I would cry in my car and literally be like, I'm gonna die. Like, oh my God, like this is it for me. And I was down low, down bad, down low. And I literally thought I had cancer. Anyways, I keep getting blood work. Things start slowly getting better, and then they tell me everything's fine. I might have been sick. Things might have just like came up. Whatever, I'm fine. Whatever. All right. Hey, I'm not sick. I don't have cancer. So then I was like, okay, well, I don't have cancer. I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna start doing drugs. A little bit before I was like clear, I contacted my old coach Alex, and I was like, hey, I want to compete again, and like I kind of want to be competitive. I'm open to drugs. I'm open to taking PEDs. I don't have cancer, or I don't think I have cancer, and I'm gonna find out soon. Once I'm cleared, let's run it. I know that's kind of dumb. So then I went for it, and I started my off season with him in August. We're not really putting any like time on like when I was gonna compete, besides like possibly maybe the fall, but if not, spring of 2026. So I was like, I have so much time to grow. So that's what we did. We grew. We did 2 cycles, one in November, 8 weeks, and then took 8 weeks off. Did another cycle, my second cycle. But that cycle, I really did fuck it up because I went to Europe, and I would forget to take my Anavar. I would forget to lift, or not forget. I just didn't have time. I was prioritizing my vacation, and like, I'm in Europe. Anyways, so then I came back, and then I was like, oh, I fucked this up. Anyways, after that one, my 3rd cycle, I was like asking him like, oh, like, so what's the plan? Are we doing 2026? Should we do this fall? Like, what are we thinking? And he was like, yeah, let's run it. And my boyfriend's doing Sasquatch, so I was like, what if we do Sasquatch, which is September 20th? And he was just like, all right, let's do it. So I've been in prep for the past month and a half ago. I started prep, and everything's looking real nice. Let me show you guys. Yeah, so we're really excited. Anyways, that is how I started. That is where I'm at. That was my journey, and pretty much I just want to vlog my prep, my travels, my shenanigans, my cooking, my recipes, my my life, I guess. I've always wanted to do this, so I'm really excited. And if you're following and watching, I really appreciate you because I'm low-key embarrassed to post this. Just a little bit. I get a little bit shyness. I know it does not look like it, but I do. I'm excited to just grow as a person, as an athlete, as a coach, and just take you guys along with like everything I do, because I feel like it's finally time. If you guys have any other questions, I know this was kind of like just my journey, not my life, so if you guys want to know more about me and what I'm about, just comment what you want to know. Just don't be mean. I'm a sensitive gangster, and I'll pretend like I don't care, but low-key it hurts my feelings. So just be nice, and when I'm missing my papaya, I'm not your cup of tea, don't drink me. But anyways, like and subscribe. Okay, bye.